Yes, we're starting. Okay, guys, welcome to the bonus episode. Man, if we weren't having problems, we wouldn't have anything, would we? Um, yeah, Stan, I'm looking for that too. Hey, tomorrow night, the NWA returns to studio TV taping. I'm Jay Cal, and I'm gonna be there representing the alliance-wrestling.com. You guys can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, Tumblr, at the Alliance blog. And I might just bring Sweet Charlotte over here, the 10 pounds of replica. Actually, I should call her Sweet Charlie because she ain't the real Sweet Charlotte. Um, yeah, it'll be fun, Stan. I'm looking forward to that. So here I am in Hotlanta, Tennessee. It's been a long day. Hotlanta, Georgia, and guys, I'm excited. I'm pumped up. I just got back from dinner about an hour ago with Larry, the legend. Went to the OK Cafe, and it was a little bit more than okay. It was pretty cool, and a lot of fun stuff. Got to see a lot of cool things so far. My hotel, my bed wasn't made. My pillowcases were on the TV stand, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah, Stan, right? I mean, what the hell? This is the Wyndham. It's not freaking Best Western. What's going on? I expected a little bit more. But this is the bonus episode of the Alliance Guys podcast. Um, we are here. Uh, we are here live in Atlanta, Georgia on Sunday, September 28th. No, 29th, excuse me. And I got to tell you, I'm excited because studio television returns to the National Wrestling Alliance. Now, uh, you guys watched some of these test episodes earlier. I was talking about studio wrestling, and here it is. You know, studio wrestling actually changed how we view content in this country because 75 years ago, TVs weren't in every home. 75 years ago, people watched, well, they didn't watch, they listened to the news on the radio. There wasn't TVs in every home. And those who had TVs, they were far and few between. I think there was 3 channels at the time. Pro wrestling helped to change that. I know it sounds crazy because we don't think of pro wrestling as changing the world, but in fact it did. It was the advent of studio wrestling that actually pushed the consumer to go out and actually buy TVs, to actually be consumers, and brought TVs into the world, brought TVs into the home, excuse me, which changed the dynamic of professional wrestling because more people started doing it. It was very profitable back then. Fast forward 70 years later, and we've got 5 nights of wrestling a week, right? Was it 4 or 5? I know we've got Monday nights, of course, Raw. We've got Tuesday nights. I believe that's the Access show, the not New Japan, but Impact. Wednesdays we're gonna have NXT and AEW. Then Thursdays I think is SmackDown. Friday is the Access with New Japan and WoW. We don't know what time the NWA show is coming on. Saturdays, Championship Wrestling from Hollywood is on in most markets. It's a crazy time to be a fan of pro wrestling, guys. It's just bizarre to me. It's you could literally watch hours of wrestling every night. So it's kind of exciting. And if you're not excited, I don't know why you aren't. Getting back to studio wrestling, that is really the genre, the format of pro wrestling that the NWA kind of perfected and had been doing it for years in the late 70s, 80s. Even after the Jim Crockett Promotions era of pro wrestling, the promotions that were associated with the National Wrestling Alliance were doing this. And I'm talking about NWA Music City that was in Tennessee, NWA Wildside, which was a crazy, what Dave Marquez was doing in Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. That time it was called the NWA Pro Wrestling Showcase. They were showcasing the NWA Wrestling. They were doing shows in arenas, but then also doing a studio show that premiered in Vegas, and then later they retooled it, made it in Hollywood, and eventually it would become Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. During that time, there was NWA East, which would later become NWA On Fire. That was with the Savoldi family out in New Jersey and like the New England states, specifically Maine. They would do their live events in these high school gyms and translate that into a TV studio type format show. And this was going along with what NWA Wildside became NWA Anarchy. And then there was NWA Mountain State in West Virginia. They too were producing pro wrestling. Cucumber and Company was the production behind it. Superb quality production values out of a wrestling promotion in West Virginia. It was kind of odd, but it was also kind of cool because everything looked so crisp and so clear. They would bring Adam Pearce in to defend the title against the Maestro of Wrestling, and although the Maestro never won the title, they would have great matches. And also that would lead to like NWA Saw and then NWA Smoky Mountain, both of which those two promotions kind of hung on after the fact. And when Bob Trowbridge stepped down as the executive director of the NWA and Bruce Tharp took control of the National Wrestling Alliance, both Saw and NWA Smoky Mountain were still around. Now, there are a lot of world title matches this week, Stan. We're going to see a lot of, for every avenue of professional wrestling. Oh, you're bringing your title? That's cool, man. Cool. Thanks for watching, too. Stan and everyone else who's watching, I appreciate it. Again, you guys watching this, we're generating content that supports the National Wrestling Alliance. And again, you could visit the website, alliance-wrestling.com, where we put up not only our original content, but we're also putting up content for the NWA, as well as results, upcoming title matches, the occasional interviews when we get them, and so much more. So visit the alliance-wrestling.com. Going back to what I was talking about with the studio wrestling, Smoky Mountain was home to Jason Kincaid, who actually came over from NWA Mountain State. Chase Owens, who you guys know from the Bullet Club, came to the NWA. Was I think a product of NWA Smoky Mountain, and Kincaid and Owens had some great matches for the NWA World Junior Heavyweight title, which led to Ricky Morton, who actually helped train Chase Owens, was more or less like a father figure to him, and he actually won the Junior Heavyweight title. So NWA Smoky Mountain was kind of home for the National Wrestling Alliance Junior Heavyweight division. And then Saw's was around on and off for many, many years. One of the cool things that they did was they brought in Satoshi Kojima, who was the NWA World Champion. He had beat Rob Conway, was defending the title in New Japan, came to the United States, faced Jeremiah Plunkett. Nobody knows who that is unless you're a diehard NWA Saw fan, but Jeremiah Plunkett actually took his Saw title and defended it in Australia, oddly enough. But that's not really relevant to this story. The story is that Kojima actually defended his World's Heavyweight Championship in NWA Saw. So the TV, especially studio television, and the National Wrestling Alliance have kind of gone hand in hand for many, many years. Championship Wrestling from Hollywood has been studio television since day one. They featured the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion, whether it was Tim Storm or Nick Aldis, even briefly Cody Rhodes. Although he didn't defend the title, he did show up on TV. So that was pretty cool. So saying the NWA is returning to studio television is kind of disingenuous. And as David Lagana says, this is the genuine era. So the return to studio television, no. But this is the vehicle in which Billy Corgan or William Patrick Corgan and Dave Lagana are pushing their version of the NWA going forward. I talked to David Marquez. He believes that NWA champions will still be welcomed on his show. So that's cool. I'm looking forward to that. And guys, it's we're getting closer. The press conference is tomorrow morning. there'll be a lot more information. I'll be there. God willing, I'll be recording video. Or I guess NWA willing, I'll be recording video. We'll see what happens with that. I did get a message on the Anchor app of one of my good friends, Mr. Jaden, who listed the names of some of the talents he would like to see show up on this NWA programming. So I'm going to play that for you guys here. Actually, I'll play it for you now.
Hey, J. Cal. This is your good friend and friend of the show, Jaden. If we're going to have people that we think should be good additions to the studio taping for NWA, I have a few suggestions. First, I agree with you. I think we should see the end of Paro and Odinson. They're an excellent tag team, and I think they should be major threats to any tag team championship, especially the NWA World Tag Team Championship. How about the return of Jazz and Casey Carlisle? Two excellent additions I would love to see back for challenging maybe for the Women's Championship. I would love to see a lot of great wrestlers, but there's somebody who's Dirty Money, who's recently challenged for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. I think he's an excellent wrestler in there, and I'd really, really, really want to see the return of the Ultimate Fighter himself, Dan the Beast Severn, former NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
Dan the Beast Severn, I don't think he's going to be here. I really don't, but I wish he was. I really wish he was, because that would make this so much sweeter, because, there's so many names on here, but there is no Dan Severn. There's no Raven. There's no Abyss. There's no Ron Killings. There's no Christian Cage. There's no Tommy Wildfire Rich. There's no Sabu. There's no Ronnie Garvin. There's no Steve Corino, but he won't be here. So, yeah, we're gearing up for the big show, and I'm excited, guys. No, Gary Steele won't be there, Stan. Gary Steele, I don't even know if he's still alive, man. That dude, when he broke from pro wrestling, he broke. That was it. You don't hear him at all. Yeah, maybe Mike Rapata will be here. Stan, are you excited about Mike Rapata? I'm taking that's a no. Well, that's going to wrap it up here. Guys, if you are in Atlanta, the Colorado Kid, yeah. If you guys are in Atlanta or on your way, I will see you. Look for the alliance-wrestling.com t-shirt. Let me show you what that looks like. I should have been more prepared. Yeah, buddy. If you don't have that, you need it. Yeah, Stan, I'll see you after the press conference. You better believe it. So that's going to wrap it up here for tonight. If you see me, come and say hi. If not, I'll see you guys at the matches. I'm enjoying the streaming stuff. We'll have to do more of that. Good night now.